Clash Royale.
Welcome everybody to the second day of Afreeca versus SKT here at our ground postseason playoffs. It's going to be another great day. Today is going to be the all-kill format between these two teams.
That is right. It is day 2, and SK Telecom T1 maintains their third place ranking despite, landing in 7th place in that round 3. Afreeca having their best round, just narrowly getting into that 4th place spot over CJ. And now, if they don't win here, it's all over. And SKT T1 will move on to the next round for that telecom war. But, Afreeca Freaks, they could turn it around here. And if they do, we will have a broadcast tomorrow. But if not, it's not happening. So SKT wants to close this one out with a 2-0 sweep. And they brought one of their best players, INnoVation, to start things off.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We saw INnoVation versus Patience yesterday on King Sejong Station. INnoVation was able to win that game, but it was a close one. It went to about 15 minutes in. And, wow, that's a cool shirt by Uve there.
I would get it. He would get it.
Looks like a GL shirt as well. But, I mean, it's kind of funny that they hit each other again here, except on a different map, Frozen Temple. And I wonder which team is the one that wants this player to play against the other one, and if they're specifically sniping that player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is it SK Telecom that wants INnoVation to play against Patience specifically? Or is it the opposite way, or is it just happening randomly twice in a row?
Well, I think that this is a map that's historically Terran favored in this matchup. Frozen Temple, it's a map we've seen a lot of really cool Terran pushes. We've seen defensive positions with tanks and things of that nature. I mean, it's a map we've also seen the Cyclone build be the most popular on. What I think is the case is that Patience has a build prepared for a Terran. Maybe he wasn't thinking it was going to be INnoVation to start. Maybe he was thinking it might be Dream here. But I think that Patience has a plan. And as we talked about yesterday, you don't have a lot of time to prepare. You had a lot more time to prepare for the regular entry format that we have on day 1 than you actually do in the second day. I mean, they announced the lineups, I think, around 10 or 11 p.m. And, I mean, now it's 6 o'clock Korean Standard Time, so we're talking very little time to prepare.
Yeah, and the other thing about this is that yesterday we had 6 players coming out here, so we really got to see the depth of both teams here and which players they wanted to use as their top 6. But today we're only going to get to see 4.
Yeah. The stats here for the Freaks, I think actually is just their disqualification, if I'm not mistaken. Because they have 1 loss in all types of format otherwise. 2 kills, Curious 1 time. 4 kills, Billowy, when he was on MVP, actually.
Yeah.
Did get that all kill over SKT, which was a huge upset.
And then look at the other side. INnoVation has gotten so many 2 kills, 3 kills, and 4 kills.
Yeah, in total, he has 8 multi-kills in this format. And this is the format that SKT does best in, I'd say. But you take it the other way around, because Curious is such a strong player for the Freaks right now. If he carries, he can win this match for them alone by himself. But it's going to be tough. He's going to have to go through big giants here. The bigger your roster, the better you are in the entry format. If you have so many players that can play all sorts of different matchups, you're not really worried about who you hit in that 1v1. But if you have 1 carry player, you have a chance. And SKT has like 7 carry players, but the Freaks have Curious, and he can really shine here. Frozen Temple is going to be the first map. It'll be the repeat map as well. We don't see New Gettysburg until later on. That could be the map we see Curious come out on if we survive to that
Overgrowth,
point.
Go Overgrowth, New Gettysburg, and Frozen Temple. Those are 3 maps in a row that are not bad for Zerg. And if INnoVation takes 3 wins in a row, maybe he has to come out on Dusk Towers, but I would expect someone else on Afreeca to come out here and get at least 1 kill,
I do not think this is going to be an all-kill tonight. We don't do winners predictions in the all-kill format, so, who knows? Anything could happen here. But I expect this is probably going to be a 4-1 or so. That's my official prediction. I would like to see a good performance out of the Freaks tonight. They didn't do so bad yesterday as well. I mean, they looked pretty solid, better than even I expected there. Curious taking that win over Classic. And, of course, Zone even coming out. Someone that could play today, but very unlikely to play for SKT.
Yeah, very true. And I'm very curious to get into this. This is just the photo card event. Of course, if you come down, you can get the signed photo cards by the players. You need to, you have to, I'm not sure exactly what you have to do here, but for you guys who are watching back at home, not really going to pertain to you unless you do come down to the studio.
I think you just go to the desk and buy like some sort of ticket. I think it's a raffle. You can also buy Pro League shirts down here. And we have popcorn and drinks as refreshments. Come down and watch this live. But INnoVation, 10-5 in this regular season. By the way, these records do not count round finals nor or playoffs, and they do not count grand postseason. This is only regular season best of ones. The all-co format does not come into this. So he's even better than that record shows at the 10-5. And he is massively the favorite here to beat Patience again. Patience on the other side of things, narrowly, just barely under that 50% record at 6-7.
And that's generally pretty good. When you come out here and you're playing against the best players in the world regularly over and over and over again in best of ones, unless you're at the tippy top of the group, the top tier players, Zest, TY, Sue even is up there, that top list of winners rankings, it's going to be hard to get over 50%. And Patience, he's still a fantastic player. Trust me, he could go abroad and still win any of those tournaments, you know what I'm saying? So
easily.
He can come over here. Let's see what he can do against INnoVation now on Frozen Temple for game number 1. Up here in the top left in the orange for SK Telecom T1, it is INnoVation.
And his opponent to the bottom right in purple, it is Patience, the ex-Dead Pixel player. This season was considered by many to be his first Pro League season. He did play one official game in a different season. I don't know when that was, I just looked at his stats, but basically this is the first year of Patience playing regularly in Pro League on the team that changed sponsors multiple times, from Startail here to the Freaks.
Startail and then Spenu and then the Freaks.
Yes.
Going down the line, although the Freaks I feel like will be a lot more solid. I think they'll stick around here, especially as they're doing a lot of other stuff in esports as well.
Yeah. It's sad to see the Startail team name go. It's been kind of a household name in StarCraft 2 since the beginning, and also very briefly in League of Legends as well. But now we're in a new era. To his Polish brothers just admitted already.
I am better than Ardu's better than Matiz. Protoss is Imba.
Protoss is Imba, man. We got some really strong Polish Protoss players out there, man. Mana, be proud. But see what happens here in this first game. We are going to see a quick Nexus come down. The probe goes over and scouts. And it's not going to be that early cannoning at this stage of the game that Swing INnoVation will be looking for later, as is the Gate Nexus core build. Pretty standard.
You see him continuously trying to get that SCV to go on the other side of the supply depot because the probe was harassing it, of course. But as the Marine finishes up, and look at this.
Tech Lab, the scout is denied. This is why I think Patience was coming out on this map, is to do some sort of snipe build against INnoVation. Now, it's tough to predict that INnoVation would do a Cyclone build on this map. It's not really his style. He's more of a macro-oriented player who doesn't really go for these kind of pushes or timing builds. He very rarely will do what people refer to as cheese. But let's see. I mean, I expect this will just be a quick Cyclone. There it is. And, I mean, this is a really fast one, too. So
already rallied, rather, across the map. So he wants to get that damage done ASAP. Stargate is going to be the tech of choice here for the Protoss.
This is not good against what INnoVation has chosen, unless he goes Phoenixes first, which would be kind of weird. Obviously, the Cyclone can deal with the Oracle really easily. And this Cyclone is going to be there before the Oracle even finishes, so he might decide to kind of change what he's doing here. Let's see if he rallies a second one. Nope, going to go for a Widowmine. And this Cyclone is scouted.
Yeah, it's scouted, and he's following it up with 2 more racks. So he's going to have 3 racks and the Cyclone out with some other factory units very, very quickly. Look at this. This Adept is not getting away. He's going to get a free kill already. We don't know if this is going to be a huge all-in here from INnoVation off these 2 bases, if he's actually going to get that natural up and running, or is it just going to be some pressure with the Cyclone into follow-up pressure?
It looks like he just wants to pressure the front here. When the probes surround at the top of the ramp, he did not have vision. This is still going to get 3 kills in total with the Adept. And the 4th kill there, not going to die, that last probe, but this means the Oracle's a lot more powerful. He doesn't scout this either. He's just going to walk a Widow Mine across to catch.
Is he going to get that burrowed?
Is this real?
Oh, he wants to burrow it. Well, they pass in the night.
He's going to burrow it at the 3rd base. Okay, so looks like that was not intended for the Oracle. I was about to say, I think he's cheating. That would have been crazy.
I mean, that would just be crazy if he had that timing down. He's like, for Protoss players who go Oracle, I can get my Widow Mine there. Maybe he was just a little bit late because of his micro or something.
All right, well, this is 2 Adepts here with this Oracle, so it's going to be difficult to deal with. The Marines actually target the Oracle, which gives a little bit more flexibility to this push. The Oracle is going to be killed here, and this is a little bit similar to what we saw yesterday with Zone in the Protoss vs. Protoss. These Afreeca Protoss Supers Oracle Micro just not as crisp, and we definitely could have seen that one saved there. Now this follow-up Shade, he cancels it. A lot of those Marines are damaged from earlier, and without combat shields, I mean, even unupgraded Adepts do decently well. He's pressuring a lot here. This 3rd base can't be planted unless he makes another Oracle to detect that. Ooh, not cancel this, and that's way too many Marines this time.
I mean, he's taking these traits that are just not working out for him. You know, he missed... I wouldn't say that he missed his timing with the Adepts and the Oracle. You know, we've seen that work against other Terran builds, but the one that INnoVation chose specifically with the 3 racks, you just get so many infantry units out so fast that it's going to be a lot easier to defend this kind of push. And Patience, I think that was definitely a mistake to not cancel that there.
Oh,
look at this.
Okay, I was freaking out. I had less faith than I should have. But he's just simply going to move this away. He had to make that 2nd Oracle for this. He didn't have a Robo, nor did he have Forges yet to make cannons. So this is the only way to clear this so he can finally get a 3rd base so late. This is not normally when you would have that 3rd base up. Does start it here. INnoVation wants to punish this, though. He has Stim already, combat shields, and +1. It all lines up.
Oh, look at that. The 2nd sneaky Widow Mine gets the Oracle. As it was kind of just floating through the middle of the map, didn't seem to have much direction there.
This is going to get messy here in a minute because he's not going to have Glaives in time. I mean, INnoVation is going to walk across the map here with some really heavy pressure. With a ton of Marines, +1, Stim the combat shields, medevacs. This Nexus isn't even complete yet. And it looks like he's not going to commit as hard as I thought because he's kind of a little bit concerned about what Patience might do to him back at home. Just going to send 2 drops. If he had moved his whole army out, he might be able to end the game. Now he's going to encounter these Phoenixes. He needs to react quickly.
Needs to drop in Patience with the immediate response here, but does not get onto those medevacs. And that is a lot of Adepts. I'm not sure that the low amount of 16 Marines and 2 medevacs can fight against that.
They don't have Glaives yet, and the Marines do have +1, but I still am a little bit skeptical myself. He is going to Stim and lift, it looks like. Kites up the ramp.
Maybe without the Glaives, he actually may have been able to do a bit of damage, but with the Phoenixes coming over and more reinforcements from the Terran, he wants to wait here and group up and then take the attack.
He was a bit worried about the Phoenixes, didn't want to do a full lift there, and now he's going to link it up with the rest of his army. Glaives done in 10. The Phoenixes can actually pick off that weakened medevac if he goes now. Looks like he's not looking for that, looking for maybe catching reinforcements. Okay, here he comes in. He's going to commit to the fight here. The Shades are not timed out with these Phoenixes, but now they're in. Glaives are done here. This is still a lot of bio with +1, and he's going to win the fight. Stimming forward now. Medevac's lost here, but the entire ground army of Patience is decimated, and that may just simply be game here. He has 2 pylons to overcharge, but INnoVation's army is huge, and he can get an angle here out of range. That 3rd pylon is way too late. And down goes the Mothership Core as well.
Nice snipe there. INnoVation is really just on point today. So crisp with all of his timings and his micro, his multitasking. Whereas Patience, not really on the same level at this point.
Yeah, definitely not in this first game here tonight. He's just decimated. His army is half the size of INnoVation's. He's going to escort these Widow Mines here. Nice stop on the burrow there, but the bigger problem here is the drop in the main. He can't deal with the attack in his third and the drop in his main. He's starting to be unpowered here with his gateways. So many probes going down, and he's just going to trade with these Adepts as best as possible. Looks like Patience may survive this, but for how much longer? Look at the supplies. You can see them at the top right of your screen. It kind of tells the story. Liberators are the follow-up.
And you look at other Terrans who are playing this matchup right now in Korea, and you see a lot of floating of the main and like just barely holding on, and it looks like the Protoss is majorly in control of the fights, or rather of the game for a long time. But INnoVation, he's this guy he's been showing a lot, just making the third orbital, third CC on the low ground. He's not scared to. He's in control of the game. He's the one dropping and out multitasking his opponent. And it's really awesome to see. I mean, INnoVation didn't have the best season of Pro League this year. I feel like he was a bit more dominant in the last season, but still, I mean, it seems like he's coming back. You know, he's really good here.
Yeah, I mean, SKT as a whole had some trouble in round 3. I think 10-5 is still very respectable. I mean, that's double wins over your losses, so it's still a pretty good KDA, if you will. But I think that this game is going to be ended soon. Patience doesn't have any sort of gimmicky rabbits that can pull out of his hat here. Like, he doesn't have a Dark Shrine even, no Warp Prism on the map. So if INnoVation moves across the map, he simply dies, and he has no way to bring INnoVation back home. I think he's just hoping that INnoVation doesn't realize how ahead he is, and maybe he could slowly max out here. But INnoVation is moving across the map now. He waited a while.
He even made a sensor tower, too. I mean, he is being so safe about it. He's really covering all of his bases, you know, just making sure that he's not going to be hit by some kind of crazy base trade scenario.
Shades all of those Adepts there. Definitely just wanted to scout. He's going to pack up. He has force fields he can drop to buy time, but it's not going to buy time forever. Nice force fields indeed, but this is a numbers issue, and he just does not have enough. Mothership Core is back online. He overcharges the wrong pylon, perhaps hoping INnoVation would dive over the Nexus, but he's not. He's carefully positioned here on the bottom, and this base will have to be evacuated, but there is no plan B here. If this Nexus dies, what does he plan to achieve?
Yeah, it's like either try to take the fight there or die anyway, because you're going to lose your Nexus. Look at just how much Terran is here, pushing in now against this Protoss army.
You can really see GG. You could see how good of a player Patience is when he fights even down, but against any Terran that plays in this tournament, when you're down that much, you've lost so much early game, you're not going to win that fight. The game will be ended. He tried to hold on. He was hoping INnoVation would make a mistake, but INnoVation does not know the meaning of the word mistake. So there you have it. INnoVation takes a first kill and brings the momentum here to SKT. King Sejong Station will be the next map.
I wonder who they're going to use for this. I don't think it can be a Zerg. You know, not only because it's not a great map against Turn as the Zerg here, but also because they don't want to use Curious just yet. And I don't think we're going to be seeing Symbol. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think they can use Super right now either. I think Super you have to save for Dust Towers for later on. I'm starting to feel like it might even have to be Alive. It's tough
going
to
TVT against
but
INnoVation.
Yeah, I mean, I think Alive's TVT is solid. It's not as solid as INnoVation's is, at least not right now. But I think they do have a decent shot of maybe even having Alive do a Banshee opening that gets a little bit ahead, or maybe even some sort of cheese on this two-player map. The second map is always the most important one because that's where you know who you're playing against and you know what the map is in the all format. It's the one you can prepare the most for. Yeah. So they definitely have a plan here. And I don't know what it is yet, but we're about to find out. I personally am leaning towards Alive myself. I think Curious is way too soon to use him here.
The thing about Super is that he did defeat INnoVation on this map one time. Just one time. Okay, it was just like a best of one against INnoVation. It doesn't really say all that much, but King Sejong Station is a weird map that if the Terran can hold on in the early game, he's going to be, you know, he's going to be really happy. He's going to be in a great spot on the map. But if the Protoss has like so many different options, so many crazy builds. You saw Patience come out on that map yesterday. against INnoVation specifically. He did a crazy build with the Proxy Oracle, and it got a lot of damage, but INnoVation held on, and then from there he was able to finish out the game. So
yeah.
I understand Alive, I understand Super too. I don't think it can be Curious, and I think those are the 3 players that you need to use, because there's no one else on Afreeca right now that's better than those 3 players. And as I said before, you only get 4 players that come out here. So
yeah, I mean, you really have to choose wisely. And I do think we are probably going to see Alive and Curious and Super as the last 3 players. Yeah. It's a matter of where you're going to use them, what maps you want to choose them for. Because obviously when you take a win, you know what the map that is coming next is, you don't know who your opponent is. So you can't always know, like, you can't always consistently prepare for 2 wins. But like we talked about later, when you look at the map list, when you go into Overgrowth, New Gettysburg, and then Frozen Temple, that's like a time where I'm like, okay, well, those are kind of 3 good Zerg mark maps, so you want to save him for that moment. But on the other hand, you have to survive until then.
How do you get there?
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely it can be more of an exciting moment when you have, say, like SKT versus KT Rolster, where it's like a closer series and we're going all the way. Then everything gets a little bit more detailed. But now it's a matter of survival. And do you take risks? Do you send Curious out now to try to take the momentum away? I personally think no. We're going to have the reveal